Okay. How much of your own life is reflected in your work?
Well,
Silence.
one of my, I've been doing a lot of work on this recently. I have developed what my 3 core values as a person are, which I would say are optimism, determination, and snacks. And
Rule of 3.
And I would say those permeate everything that I do. If I'm on a podcast and I don't mention some sort of snack, if I'm hosting a webinar and I'm not starting by eating and asking people what they're eating, it's
not being true to you.
It's not a Lacey J experience if there isn't discussion about snacks. I think most of the community here would know that. Mm-hmm. Think back to Vindication. We've got Claude, what is it?
Claude.
A squirrel?
Yeah, the sandwich stealing squirrel.
The sandwich stealing squirrel. What's its name? Claude.
You literally just said his name is Claude.
I wanted to say squad. Sandwich
Claude
stealing.
Squad. Hashtag Claude
Oh my
Squad.
God, there should be a whole
Claude Squad
squad
girls.
of sandwich stealing squirrels. Oh my God, that's a beautiful.
The Claude Squad.
Yes.
It's a new pet.
So yeah,
Treacherous pet.
I think that a lot of my personality and my life permeates into my work personally. What do you think, Teresa?
About my own or yours?
Yours.
No, honestly, I think it does. Like, I catalog all these experiences that happen to me on a regular basis, and I'll slide little bits into everything I write and kind of change enough of the things, so you can't identify. All of these have been fictionalized things. None of these revert back to new, the whatever disclaimer you get in NCIS or whatever. But the truth is, there's a lot of me infused in everything I do, even when it's like so muted or buttoned down. Like, I'm there.
In creative work, I don't know if you can really prevent that. I think when you're applying yourself in your passions, it's going to come out in one way or another. I think in other industries, it might not be the same. I mean, math is math, accounting is accounting. Although I think that you can still differentiate in pretty much any industry or any work that you do. But I think in the creative space, for sure, it's going to come out. It has to come out. Like your personality and the way that you set things up, the way that Jared does things, you can tell it's got Jared's touch on it. The way that Teresa does things, it's got Teresa's touch on it. The darkness, the dark forest denizen, as we call her, as self.
I mean, it was that or Dark Forest Queen, and that didn't feel right.
No, it didn't.
Yeah, I mean, like when you're reading the Chronicle cards, if you're like, wow, somebody just really wanted to stretch themselves and try to get all 5 of those words to start with the same letter. Yes, I'm crazy. And,
alliteration.
And yes, so you will see mine and Justin's cerebral patterns all throughout all of the Chronicle cards and stories in the way that we would react and respond to things, and our own brand of weird humor, and that'd be an easy way to experience those.
It'd be fun. A quiz on the Orange Nebula site that's like, who made this? And it's got like, a card or a podcast and it's like, who was the biggest voice in this project, and they pick which one of the Orange Nebula crew it was.
We kind of do that already with the overheards at Orange Nebula.
That's true.
And like very few people get those right.
Yeah, everyone says the craziest stuff around here. There is no ability to predict anything that will come out of anyone's mouth at any moment.
That's a fact. That's an absolute fact. And yeah, we have ramifications.
I do wonder how much, as I'm thinking about it, how much of my best parts of my life or my worst parts of my life maybe are fit into the work that I do, whereas kind of the normal middle is not there. Like there are a lot of times where I'm feeling like the most successful in my work, where I'm driving and I've had a pizza box in my car for 4 days, and and I look around and I'm like, what is this filth that I am in? And like that
it's snacks.
Rule 3.
I'm just like, that I keep out of my work a bit, like that normal kind of those things about me that I don't know, maybe aren't
Polished.
They don't get our attention though.
Yeah.
Right. So like if you're on your highs, you're focused on how can I create more of this in my life, right? How can I constantly be like, I want this. And when you're in your lows, you're like, how do I get the hell out of this?
What do I
How
learn from this?
Yeah.
How do I grow?
In the middle times, you're thinking about the thing you just came out of or the thing you're heading into, right? Like, so I don't think we really take time to take note of the mundane progress that we make, which is interesting.
So maybe your bard songs could include like, you know, day in the life of Lacey's car, and I could just play that as
Yeah. From the perspective of like a single crumb,
Yes.
like starting its life in the packaging, falling down onto your lap, onto the floor,
Cascading
watching your
under the
children
seat.
grow up.
I'm envisioning like slow strings.
Oh yes,
right?
oh
like,
yes, the strings.
yeah, it's
Chris
It'll
the
be great.
Forgotten Crumb.
Chris the Crumb. All right, everybody, watch out. Chris the Crumb's gonna top the charts.
I love it. I love all of this. Okay, so here's a question we've got.
Wait, can I transition it? Let's move on to the next question. Can I do that?
Well, do we? Okay, go for it.
Just for the podcast content.
For the podcast.
Okay, ready?